Okay, so family, this video is all about time and energy. And I want to break down how we've been taught and trained to use our time and energy and why we're not able to do more with our lives based upon the way we have invested our time and energy. So let's go ahead and talk about time and energy. And what I'm going to say right now before we get started is, as you can see, you're going to have to use your ears more than you use your eyes in this video because I don't know what this, you know what I'm saying, like, look, just bear with your brother. All right, so cool. So in the beginning, right, we normally know that we need to get educated because that is the mode of frequency. That's what we need to do, is to get our knowledge so we can have something, you know what I'm saying? So we talk about school, boom. So that school, oh man, look, S-C-H-O-O-L, right, school. All right, and this is us, right, cool. And let's say this is school all the way over here. So I'm gonna actually draw school like a cloud, and I'll explain later why. All right, so, and it has like little lumps on it. So that's school, right? And in order for us to engage in school, we have to send our time and energy to school, right? So this involves going to school. This involves paying attention at school. This involves being at school. Wait, what? Involves what? Paying attention. Time and energy equals attention. Time and energy equals attention, because you can't do good in school if you're not there. You can't be there without sending your time with you, because you take your time wherever you go. So you spend time at school, you spend energy at school, you're spending your attention at school. Pay attention in class. Pay attention. Don't you remember them saying that all the time? You paying attention by being there. So inside of this thing, right, there's nothing like getting nothing for something, okay? Everything in life that you take advantage or you take part in, you are exchanging everywhere. So, like, they're not just getting off with your time and attention because they're giving you something in return. This is what they're giving you. They're giving you information. But I have to put in parentheses, useful and not useful, okay? Because I have not used the Pythagoras theorem. Is that what it is? I haven't used that, but I definitely know how to lift weights, and that was weight training class, okay? So I learned some life skills from school, but I would say this not useful bucket is goddamn 50 times bigger than the useful bucket, all right? So boom. Let me remind you that as we're putting our time and energy into school, we're creating a vortex of energy inside of school. It's called an investment. So it's like you spend 2 years in college, you have all this invested. You don't want to just graduate without finishing. You're on your 4th year. You got a couple months left. You don't want to just, you know what I'm saying, end it. You want to go ahead and finish it. So this right here, this little outward, you know, the outward perimeter of the circles for the school thing, it's the amount of information that you're able to obtain from this section, because school and public schools in specific don't allow for all types of information to be inside of the curriculums because they want to educate children in a specific way. So this knowledge barrier is limited. School is not the bank of wisdom, okay? School is not the well of wisdom, okay? You know what I'm saying? There's a well of wisdom out here on this planet Earth if you can tap into it, but it's not school. So boom. That's where you spend probably about 5 to 8 hours a day. If you're a child, you probably spend 7 to 8 hours, you know, riding the bus, getting to school, being there, getting home at like 2:30, 3 o'clock, getting out the house at 7. You know, that's about 7 hours, or, you know, 7 to 8 hours. So you spend 5 to 7 hours at school. Then you also have a job. So a job, right? In order for you to be at this job, first of all, the job has a circle and it don't have no lumps on it because it don't expand as much. Depending on the job, it don't expand as much. You might have the opportunity to bridge into a bigger circle, but it don't get much bigger. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's how the job works. So this is us over here at the job. You know what I'm saying? In order for us to work at the job, we have to send our what? Time and energy, which is your attention. So you're paying attention over here at the cash register, helping out Susie check out some green beans, and you getting your little investment, right? So what do you get back from school? Because you never get nothing for something. You get something for everything you give in this reality. So what are you getting from this job? Well, this is what they're giving you right here. And they look like dollars and benefit sometimes. Benefit. Right. Boom. So you get money and benefits from your job. Okay. And that is the exchange of school. Right. So the thing about this is either one of these sections can deny you at any point in time. If all the doors in the world were to close, these doors would close also. So in order for you to actually sustain yourself long term without having to rely on any other external entities is for you to create something with your time and energy. Okay? So if we were to use a word to explain what that would be, it would be a business. Okay? It would be a business. All right. So if we're putting some of our time and energy, well, first we got to have ourselves. So we got to be there. Right. And then, you know what I'm saying? We have to understand what the business looks like in some sense of entity. Okay. So I'm going to actually utilize a little bit of the school and a little bit of the job to make this new circle type scenario. You know, so this how it's going to look like. It's going to look like, how's it going to look, David? All right, it's going to look like this. It's going to look like this. It's going to be like a ball. And then it's going to be like that. And it's going to be like that. Right? And the reason why it's shaped like this is because you cannot actually tell how much this business can contain, hold, or produce based upon its first imagined version. Because business is something that expands infinitely as long as you do. And all these other things are fixed in the amount of energy that you can exchange with them. You can't give a job more than 8 hours. I mean, you might work overtime, but you can't say, I'm gonna give y'all 24 hours. I'm about to pull my bed up in here, and you know, they need a certain amount for you, and they have hours of closing and things like that. There's a restriction there. Okay, so the kickback from the job is the bread, the money you get. The kickback from the school is the information you get. That comes with like certification. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So you could better benefit the individual here. And, you know, that can correspond to a better job with the bigger circle. Whatever the case. However you want to do it is cool. But now we're talking about business. So the thing about business is that when you send your energy to the business, it starts to generate. But the way that it generates, it's small, it's slow, and it spirals. So you don't actually know where it's going to go. You only know what you can put into it with your time and attention. So you, as a business owner, as someone who partakes in a business, your focus is on how much time and energy that you can effectively put into the business. Okay? So I don't know if I explained. The reason why it's designed like this is because it's infinitely growing. You don't know the level of which it can reach as far as mass potential, because it is not a limited... It is not a limited, whatever the word I need is. It should be there in a minute, but it's not. So I'm just going to continue. It's not limited. So boom, right? But the thing about business is that it's difficult for you to do business coming out of school and coming out of a job. Why? Because you don't have one vital thing. And this is what the next one is. It's called personal knowledge. Now, how do I draw this? Because now I'm showing you guys a lot, and I want to make sure you could still see it all. So I'm going to do it down here at the bottom. Personal knowledge. All right. This could also be, I'll do it like that. This could also be self-help. Self-help. As far as like using a terminology to define what I'm explaining. Cool. Boom. So now, what does this look like? Well, this, as far as like the shape of personal knowledge, well, let's get started with us, because I know what that looks like. Boom. So personal knowledge is the understanding that you need to invest into the information that goes inside of your mind. The same way the school was giving you a kickback, or the same way you were paying attention to school and you were getting back knowledge and information, you have to invest time and energy into yourself in a way that allows you to receive back more than time and more than knowledge and information. So this is how the design looks. Well, let's go ahead and send our time and attention over there, because we got to start focusing, get to some books, start listening to some audiobooks on the way to work, start listening to some audiobooks on the way to church, start listening to some audiobooks after church, start listening to audiobooks at any point in time in the day, because knowledge is always accessible. What do you want to learn? How do you want to improve yourself? How do you want to develop? What do you want to grow into next? These are great questions. So with the personal development section, there is no shape for the personal development section. There is no shape, because as you read and as you learn about foods, and as you learn about your character, and as you learn about your behaviors and your habits and your ways of thinking, the way of treating other people, and the ways that you like to do things and the ways that you don't like things done around you, and the way that you behave and the ways that you don't behave, you know what I'm saying? You're creating your own map of life that understands your essence. And as you learn this, you by default, see, I don't have no space under here, but what I do have is a life adjustment. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just do it like that, baby girl. Let's go ahead and do it like that. We'll have an adjustment. All right, so what you do get in return of this, in this personal knowledge, you get wisdom, you get understanding, you get knowledge, which are all different. See, the knowledge helps you in this business realm. The knowledge helps you in this business realm because you have to know how things work around you. And if you didn't set them up, someone else did, and you have to learn how they set it up. So that's pretty much what it is. You got to learn what it is. So the thing about business, right? I want to use a pen for this because I know I didn't tell you about the kickback. I just drew the line for the kickback in business, but it's hard to understand what the kickback is because with business, you might not get a return the first day. You might not get a sale the first day. You might not get a customer the first day. The first day, you might just figure out the name of the business. The first day, you just might figure out which one of your talents you can share with the world. You might just figure out the first day, what can I do that someone else can benefit from? That's what you might figure out the first day. You might not get $0 that first day, but the energy starts to increase. It starts to spiral. It starts to pile up. That's where you start to make the investment because you're putting it in, but you ain't seeing nothing back. So some people get frustrated because they've been putting it in and ain't getting it back. They've been putting it in, they ain't throwing it back. You understand? So you have to understand that when you get this information, you put this attention here, the information that comes back is called experience. Now I don't know where to write that, but that's going to be over here, experience. EXP. Y'all play video games? Y'all going to have to get your experience up, and that's what helps in this realm of business. But the reason why I grabbed this pen is because I wanted to explain that there is an invisible kickback meter range or some type of thing like right there in the business realm. So like you've been putting in work for a year and a half and that's all you got in there, and you just have just a couple more inches to get to kickback, which is this is actually sending you back them dollar bills. So the good thing about this whole sequence is that you're getting to understand how you use your time and attention and what that could do for you. So if you don't know any other ways to use your time and attention other than going to school and going to a job, let me explain. Y'all already know how to use your time and attention. You go to the club. But the return that you get from the club is the good feeling that you have from being in the club. It's the music. It's the being with your friends or whatever the case. I don't know what it is because that's not what my feelings are. My feelings are coming back to wherever I'm coming from and seeing what I created. And it's going to be there as long as I am. You get what I'm saying? So then after you reach that kickback spot, now whatever you've created is actually providing more for you than this job was. But see, it takes a matter of what? Time and energy. You can't get this shit just from popping up with an idea and thinking that, oh, this shit came in my head first. Nobody knows about. Bitch, I'm rich. Not yet. You're only rich after you start sending the time and attention. Well, not on this line, but on this line to your business, to your creative idea, to your passion, to your desire and gift to share with the world. And from there, over time, you're able to exponentially grow that and find a way to receive a kickback from the thing that you already like to do. In order to get that to work the way it does, you have to be consistently learning with personal knowledge. And I know that I made it all fair because this is like a one-way street, like a one-way street, like a one-way street, like a one-way street. But it's really like this. Ain't nobody else in your lane, but there's a lot of lanes that you need to know with this personal knowledge-ish. You can't just read one book. Maybe if you read the same book 1,000 times, like Think and Grow Rich, but you can't read just one book. It's a lot of different pieces of personal knowledge that allows you to create this character of confidence, this character of determination, this character of discipline. It takes a lot. In here is meditation. I'll just write it in there because I know that's in there. I don't care what else you think is in there. I know meditation in mine. So that was one thing I needed to learn about because that allowed me to get the mental fortitude to withstand people and they bullshit as I decided to cut these to cut these attention suckers. I mean, we in a deal. It's an agreement, but I was giving more than I got, and I'm still paying for the shit that I got, and it still ain't doing shit for me. So I know I should have been on this street right here. Should have been on the street, but I needed something very key. I'm gonna show you this right now, because this video is going all the way there. I told you it's gonna be the best in 2019. So what I really needed was someone else who has already seen all of these 4 different avenues. That's what I needed in my life. That's what I needed in my life at the age of just graduating high school, at the age of 2 years before I graduated high school, at the age of the year I decided what college I was going to. I needed somebody there called a mentor. Somebody there who could tell me that these are all my options in life, but this is not an option. Y'all see? This is not an option. And with this, I would make any decision that my soul desired because I would know what I needed to make the decision. Somebody needed to tell me this. Personal knowledge. Somebody needed to tell me that when I'm sitting in the car driving to the grocery store, I can actually make money off that time and energy by, let's say, listening to a podcast on something very particular to the things that I'm doing. Or let's say, listening to a podcast or listening to the playback audio of a video that has information that I need to assist myself in this realm of personal knowledge so I could be sustained enough fortitude in my being in order to sustain something called a business. That's kind of what I really needed. So, it all ends beautifully. So there's another place where we spend our time and attention that I want to share with you, or another realm of consumption. And that could be like, I'll use the term groups. Okay? You might be in some groups, and this group, whatever you give into this group, you want to give it. And whatever you're receiving from this group, you want to receive it. But you just have to be mindful about how much time this group takes from your time and attention, because you only have 24 hours. You only have 24 hours every single day to use. So you have to be mindful of how much time and attention goes towards groups. Maybe have a group of friends, y'all just get on the phone on 3-way. Y'all be gossiping about Beyonce. Then after y'all start talking about Beyonce, you be talking about Trisha, because Trisha look good at school and she be gotten on all this cool shit and she don't be paying for it. So y'all be talking about Keisha and shit like that. That's a waste of time and energy. Other places that you can go to waste time and energy, places that are not bringing back something that's going to allow you for the personal development that you need to create the character that you want to see in your own world. So it's very important that you keep in mind the amount of time and attention that you have and where you're already spending it. Where you're already spending it is very important because it gives you back. So if you were spending time with these groups and you were not getting back money, you were not getting back feeling good. Maybe you were getting back feeling good because it's your friends. But you could also get stuff that you don't want. Bad habits. You get what I'm saying? Bad habits, bad behavior. You could get anything from anywhere unless you know where you're getting it from. So you have to know what you're getting from these groups or from these people, from these friends, and make sure that these things are assisting the character that you're trying to create. And this is a daily task. So audit yourself. Give yourself a little checklist. Take some time to see. All right? I didn't even think this video was going to be that deep though. But I'm going to go ahead and make it sweet. So I'm going to wrap it up right now, and I'm going to use this as like a promotion thing. So boom. All right, so what you're witnessing right now is a sketch of every place that you can spend your time and energy. Well, not every place, but just the most places. So pretty much you can spend your time and energy at school 5 to 8 hours a day. And in return, because you don't get nothing for something in this world, you always get something for what you give. So in return, you get information from school. I got a category here for useful information, a category here for not useful information. And if I were to tell you, it'd be like 20/70. And the 10% would be some shit that I never got because I was asleep in class. You feel me? So then there's another place where you can spend your time and energy, which is your attention, at a job. As you spend these 8 hours or 5 to 8 hours here, you get in return dollars or cash flow, because that is the way that they're accommodating you for your time and energy. So now the other thing is that if you were to find a talent, a gift, a hobby, something that you love that you could share with the world, you can classify that as a business. And when you spend your time and energy there, although it does have a short period of time before you reach the kickback zone where you start getting the kickback, which would be the time and energy back, which would be money, You have to invest here. You just keep piling up. You just keep piling up until you reach the kickback. But that's something that you have to understand, and that comes from experience. So in order to have all this flowing and to make this time and energy move at a faster rate, you have to increase your personal knowledge. Your personal knowledge is time and energy you spend developing yourself. And there's a reason why this looks crazy and have no direction and form is because you don't have no direction and form for real. You like art, you like tennis, you like basketball. And then you also like cooking and making food. So there's so many different areas and avenues of things that you want to learn to develop the character that you are. And other places that you can spend your time and energy. Oh wait. In return from your time and energy and spending personal knowledge, you get back wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And that assists the character that you're creating. And that assists you making better decisions as a new character. So then, what else? Oh yeah, so groups. So groups could be like friends or circles and groups of people that you trade your time and energy for whatever else you're returning. So I don't know what I'll be getting from a lot of groups. So I just said put the stuff that I don't want to be getting from a lot of groups, which is bad habits and bad behavior. Seeing things in the wrong perspective can be detrimental for the character that you're trying to create. So with that being said, I just wanted to share this insight because this has literally changed my life. I don't know if I need to do this again, but I like these little blue pieces of paper. I'm probably going to keep these forever. Like the video, share the video, comment down below if I missed anything as far as time and energy goes, because I didn't want to get all metaphysical and stuff. This was more like living in the world. You feel me? So yeah, that's all I wanted to share with y'all, family. Thanks for watching this video, and go ahead, support the page, like, power, share our posts, and shine like you're supposed to. Share your posts with us. We'll go ahead and post it on our platform at one point in time. So with that being said, I'm gonna keep shining on my shine, and I'm gonna talk to y'all next time.